So how do you master this one word substitution? Why should you use one word substitution? What is the need for you to use this one word substitution? Ancestors, grandparents or elders are called as ancestors. So why should we use one word substitution? In order to make our language clear. Hello everyone, I am Dr. Shalini, Professor of English, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. Today we are here to learn about one of the language component sessions prescribed for 3rd Sem BCom. So let us begin our session today. Today we are going to talk about one word substitutes. Okay, we are going to talk about one word substituted words. So what is it? What are we going to learn in today's module? So here in today's module, we are going to understand about the meaning of one word substitution. What is one word substitution? We are going to understand about that. Then, why should we use one word substitution? Why is it required? What is the necessity for us to have this one word substitution? Okay. So after that, we'll be looking at few examples from, that is one word substitution examples from the prescribed text, that is the financial expert. Okay. Then how do we master this one word substitution? Like, this is not related to your financial expert, but we are talking about it in general. Okay, so whenever you want to, like if at all you want to attempt some competitive exams or so such questions might come, and there you need not have to prepare it that time. You can do it, you can take it up as a habit. Okay, if you make it, if you put it in your routine, then it will be like a habit for you. Okay, so how do you master this one word substitution? So these are the things we are going to understand in today's module. So let's begin our session. At first, we'll understand what is the meaning of one word substitution. So what is it? It is very simple. Okay. So if at all you have a very long sentence, and you use specific words, okay, you just take out few words and you add one specific word to the sentence. Okay. You just substitute so many words with only one word. Okay. It can be in a phrase. Okay. It can be in a phrase or a sentence. Okay, so I'll just give you an example. How do you do it? Okay, so just one example, like if at all you say my friend, I'm giving you an example of how do you replace it. Okay, my friend is a calm and composed person, you say. Calm and composed person, you say. Suppose you don't want to use such a long sentence. You feel it's a very long sentence. So what do? You feel like replacing few words over here. So what do? You replace a phrase here. Okay, phrase is a group of words which does not have a complete meaning and it does not have a verb in it. That is called as a phrase. So here in this sentence also, you're going to replace a phrase and you're going to make it a meaningful, precise sentence, very crisp. You want to make it very crisp sentence. Okay, so let us check over here. My friend is a calm and composed. Suppose, had you known this word patient, you wouldn't have written these words. Calm and composed person. Okay, you would have replaced that phrase with this word. So how do you replace it? My friend is patient, you can say, or patient person also you can say. So patient actually has two different meanings. Okay, somebody who is sick is a patient, and the other person who is calm and composed, who has lot of patience, great deal of patience, so that person is also called as a patient person. So this way you can replace, but only thing is you have to read more and you have to increase your vocabulary. Okay, so this is an example of that is one word substitution. Okay, so this is the meaning, like you replace one phrase or a few words in a sentence with one word, or maybe one or two words also is possible. Okay, so that is called as one word substitution. So let's go further. Why should you use one word substitution? What is the need for you to use this one word substitution? Actually, it makes the sentence shorter. Just now you saw an example, isn't it? There were 4 words which were replaced by only 1 word. So this makes the sentence much shorter. Okay, it makes the sentence much shorter, easy to remember also for you. Okay, only thing is you have to increase your vocabulary. Okay, you have to increase your vocabulary. So this makes the sentence shorter. Then it makes it concise. Concise means whatever is required. Whatever is required, only that is kept in the sentence. Whatever the unnecessary words are removed actually. Okay, so unnecessary words are removed from the sentence and the sentence actually becomes very crisp and like it is direct. Okay, it actually delivers whatever meaning has to be delivered. Fine. And it is also clear to understand. Okay, it is also clear to understand. But only thing is, whenever you use such words, you should be very clear with the meaning. Okay, you should be very clear with the meaning. Yeah, suppose I take this sentence, I went to a place. I am unaware of a word over here which can be used over here. So I went to a place of financial transaction, I say. Okay, a financial transaction, or maybe a place where financial transaction takes place. So I have used unnecessary words over here. Okay, I have used unnecessary words, and also the sentence is not clear. Where did I go? To some place where financial transaction would happen. So what is it? There are so many places where financial transactions happen. Even in school, it happens. Accounts department, it happens. But what I wanted to say is I went to a bank. Okay, so the place of financial transaction or the place where financial transaction takes place, by this word, I wanted to say that I went to a bank. Okay, so here this is not clear. This sentence what you are using here, this phrases what you are using is not at all clear. Okay, if I use this word, it is very clear to you. Isn't it? It is very clear to you that yes, you went to a bank. You know that place, you know that vocabulary, you are aware of that word. So it is very clear for you. Okay, so this usage of one word substitution makes the sentence shorter, clearer and concise. Okay, so it is easy for you to understand. Fine. So this is the reason we have to use this one word substitution. Okay. Now you are learning this one word substitution pertaining to the financial expert. But those are the words which you can use it elsewhere also. Okay. Those words which you learn for this financial expert, those can be used elsewhere also. Okay, it is not that you have to use it for only for your exam, or maybe only for getting marks, or only that is concerned only with this, that is limited only for this financial expert. No, you can use it elsewhere, because this is one such example, this is one such word which can be used elsewhere also. Isn't it? Bank, you use it somewhere else also, not only for getting marks, not only for writing in the exam, you use it elsewhere also. Okay, so these words can be used in your daily lives also. So once you master this, not only now you can learn it for being exam ready, but later if you practice it, if you take it as a habit, it makes your language much better. Okay, so let us now understand few words that are there in your financial expert. Okay, I'll be explaining these words to you, and I'll also be using it in various sentences so that you'll be able to understand how to frame sentences also. Okay, so now we are talking about some person. So I'm just giving you this explanation first, and then we'll talk about this word. Okay, so somebody who maintains or audits, audit again. It is somewhere like somebody who plans for, who takes care of this expense and income, all these. Okay, so that is called as auditing, and this business account. So you should be able to understand it better because you are in that line only. So all these expense, income, or whatever miscellaneous expenses there, everything is taken care by this person. He is an accountant. Basically, the person who takes care of expense and income. Okay, something related to the accounts. So that person is called as an accountant. So you please frame simple sentences whenever you're framing sentences. Okay, so one word substitution, yes, you just have to write this word. You will also be asked, like there is another, some other question wherein you will be asked to frame sentences also. So whenever you're framing sentences, yes, we'll be dealing about that in our coming sessions. But still, I'm telling you now, whenever you're framing sentences, please make sure you frame shorter sentences, as short as possible. Sentences should be as short as possible so that the examiner or the valuer will not be able to find mistakes in your sentences. Okay, shorter, lesser the mistakes. Shorter the sentence, lesser the mistakes. Okay, so here accountant, he is an accountant in our company, you can say. Okay, or he works as an accountant. That is even more simple. Okay, so next, a person who transforms or creates something through seemingly magical process. So there are a few keywords which you can keep it in mind. Okay, so whenever you are guessing that word, it is easy for you. Okay, so here transformation is there, then magical process is there. So that word is alchemist. Okay, that word is alchemist. But here in daily life, you use alchemist for something wherein a person creates something, like he transforms something. It is not only by magical. Don't take it literally. Just read in between the lines. Okay. Some great transformation must have happened. So that person can be, the person who has done it can be called as an alchemist. Okay. So you can say Narendra Modi is trying to become an alchemist or something like that. Okay. So that person can be called as an alchemist. Next, something that is inherited. Inherited, you can keep it in mind, from grandparents or elders. Okay. So that is ancestral. Okay, ancestors, grandparents or elders are called as ancestors. Okay, they are called as ancestors. The property that is inherited by them is called as ancestral property. Okay, so something that is inherited. So this word inherited comes, then it is ancestral. Okay, so here Balu actually asks for ancestral property from his father Margaya. So it is in that context. Okay, so we have huge ancestral property. That's a simple sentence you can make. So next, someone who predicts. So predict word should be in your mind. Okay. Then predicts the future. Future also you can keep it in mind. Okay. By the position of planets, sun and moon. So prediction, planet, sun and moon, everything is related to astrologer, astrology or astrologer. Okay. So astrologer who is a person who does this. Okay. So the study of movements, the study is called as astrology. Okay, the person who does it is an astrologer. The study is called as, the science is called as astrology. Okay, then author is the writer of a book. Okay, writer, author, that should be in your mind. Charles Dickens is a great author, you can say. Okay, so any writer for that matter, you can even say R.K. Narayan, because you have it in your this one text. Okay, so you can take that only as the sentence. Next, we have this bank. As I said before, I gave it as an example already, and a financial institution. So financial institution, when it comes and pertaining to this text, it is only bank that is there. Okay. Then a man who works in commerce, especially at executive level. Okay. So this commerce, income, expenditure, everything, something that involves money. Okay. So that person is called as a businessman. Okay. So he's a great businessman, you can say, or Margaya was a great businessman. You can say that. You can write it in a sentence. So bad-tempered is nothing but cantankerous. Cantankerous is like Margaya is referred to as cantankerous person. Okay. So it is not a very common word. So you just keep it in mind. You may not be asked about that word at all. Okay. But since that is there in the text, I've just cited that example to you. Okay. Then an event causing, so event and disaster. These two things should be in your mind. An event causing great and unusually sudden damage. So it is this event that causes a sudden damage is called as a catastrophe. It is not catastrophe. It is catastrophe. Something that is pronounced as apostrophe. Okay. Same spelling. Okay. So it is catastrophe. So this COVID-19, what was a natural catastrophe, you can say. Okay, it was a catastrophe. Fine. So this way you can frame simple sentences for these words. So check, you know that. Okay, an order to a bank. You know that check, right? The check leaf. So the same check. Okay, so the company issued a check to him, or salary was paid through check. Anything is fine. Okay, make the sentence simpler, as I said. Then citizen, you need not have to worry too much about this one. A legally recognized subject or national of a state. Okay, so that person is called as a citizen. A person who lives in the country by birth, so he gets the natural citizenship there. Okay, so any legally recognized person of that country, that person is called as a citizen. Fine. Then a cooperative society, okay, is a, sorry, I've used that word only over here. So any voluntary association, okay, any voluntary association, like we few of them, okay, so we just gather together and we start something like an organization, a voluntary organization or association which actually caters the needs of the common people. Okay, so that can be called as a cooperative society. Okay, few like-minded people, they gather and they just start an association which actually caters the everyday needs or maybe some financial needs also of the people who are the members over there. Okay, so that is called as a cooperative society. Actually, Margaya started a cooperative society after he left the job, after he stopped working outside the cooperative society. He himself started an institution. Okay, so he was actually working, he was sitting outside a cooperative society and he was helping people to get loans and all. Okay, so after that he himself started a separate thing. So Margaya was working outside, Margaya had a place outside the cooperative society. So that can also be a sentence with this cooperative society, this word. Okay, then we have this word, the person who writes letters on a regular basis. So this is something that is corresponding. Okay, so some like a corresponding or communication or something like that. Okay, so writing letter on a regular basis, that person is called as a correspondent. Okay, so suppose you go to TV level and all, they are called as spokesperson. They come out and they speak. That person is called as a spokesperson. But somebody who writes a letter, okay, like physically letter correspondence is happening. So that person who does that correspondence is called as a correspondent. Okay. So then we have a member of a band of armed robbers. A band is a collective noun. It's a group of robbers is called as a dacoit. Okay, so the group of robbers is called as band and a member of that is called as a dacoit. Okay, so here band of robbers, when that word comes, you can easily guess that it is a dacoit. Okay. So then we have few more words. Okay, so somebody who is extremely poor, okay, extremely poor, and they lack this minimum requirements also, the basic necessities also they are lacking. So such people are called as destitutes. Okay, such people are called as destitutes. I saw a destitute on the way to my school. So something like that you can write. Then we have dialectician. Dialectician is a person who is very good at philosophical debate, philosophy, who speaks lot of philosophy. Okay, he goes on talking about life, how you should lead a life, then what are the necessities for a good life. So all these, something called as philosophy, too high to understand. So such a person who talks, who is very much skilled about speaking about that, is called as a dialectician. Okay, Dr. Paul was a dialectician, you can say. Okay, he used to speak about life so much. That's why he was able to write a book also. Okay, so Dr. Paul was a dialectician, so that you can write. Then the agent who supplies goods to retailers. Okay, somebody who supplies, who distributes, is called as a distributor. Okay, in this story, in this novel, what you have read, it is actually the person who distributes the books. Okay, in this story, it is actually the person who distributes the book written by Dr. Paul, bought by Margaya, and the person distributes it. So he is called as a distributor. Fine. Then this is very much known to you, a formal test of a person's knowledge. It's a formal test. Okay, that the school or college conducts is an examination. Okay, so this is in relation to Balu. Okay, so Balu actually has faced the examination and has failed in his exams. Okay, so this is in relation to that. You can say Balu had failed in his examination. So something like that can be said. Then we have this birth chart. Okay, in Kannada you say Jatka. So this a birth chart, it is nothing but horoscope. Okay, it is called as horoscope. Yeah, such words can be given in the exam. Okay, so they got this one, Margaya and Meenakshi got a birth chart written, or maybe a horoscope written in Balu's name you can write. Okay, or maybe as soon as the baby is born, a horoscope is written. Fine, so that way you can frame sentences. Then we have this word, a police officer ranking below a chief inspector. So chief inspector is somebody like a circle inspector. So that one is an inspector. So you get a clue over here. Below a rank, so you can just write inspector. So here Margaya meets an inspector on the way to Madras. Okay, so or you can just say there is an inspector who is living next to my house. Okay, so anything is fine. Then a person who writes for the newspapers, so that person is called as a journalist. Fine, journalist, a person who writes for the newspaper and all. Then a person who practices or studies law, practicing or anything related to law is a lawyer here. Okay, so this way you can guess and write. Then you can say Mahatma Gandhiji was a lawyer. Okay, so that you can write. Then the process of resolving disputes, whenever this word dispute comes, you can guess the word, it is litigation. Okay, the process of solving the dispute. Many of them have misunderstood that litigation itself is a dispute. No, the process of solving the dispute is called as litigation. Litigation happens only through court. Okay, this litigation only, solving this will happen only through this court system. Okay, so any disputes that are solved through the court is called as a litigation. Okay, so there was a litigation at court. Enough. That's a very simple sentence. Okay, so then a book or document or a piece of music written by hand. So written by hand, you should keep it in mind. Okay, so that is nothing but manuscript. Manuscript, anything is fine. Okay, manuscript, it is easy for you to remember. Just remember the spelling. Manuscript is you write it by hand. That's it. So that much you can keep in mind. So manuscript. Margaya bought the manuscript from Dr. Paul. So this can be a sentence. Fine. The individual elected as a councillor. So it's very easy to understand, or mayor for the city. Okay, they can give councillor that word only, or it can be the mayor for the city also. So that is nothing but a municipal councillor. My neighbor was elected as a municipal councillor. That is a simple sentence that you can frame. Then the town or district that has a local government. Whenever you get this word local government, you can guess it as municipality. Okay, so municipality in different levels, as it is different. Okay, like for example, in this one, village level, it is different, that is gram panchayat. So something like that, something, it is some town. Okay, town or district, that level, it is called as a municipality. Okay, then we have this, a person qualified to prescribe and dispense glasses. Okay, glasses, that is the specs, that person is called as an optician. Okay, optician or ophthalmologist. Ophthalmologist is a doctor. Okay, but optician has the license in order to dispense also, means he can sell it also. Okay, Margaya obtains a pair of specs from the optician, or I am working as an optician. Simple, very simple sentence. Someone who has lost both the parents is an orphan. You already know this word. Okay, you already know this word, so you need not have to worry so much. So lost both the parents, orphan, very simple. Okay, then the action or state of dividing or being divided into parts. So whenever this word dividing comes, the action of dividing is called as partition. Partition is nothing but dividing. Usually this is referred to with property. Okay, so in Margaya's story also, it is something related to the property. This word is being used. Okay, so the property of Margaya's ancestors was partitioned, you can say. Okay, so then an arrangement between two or more people to oversee business operations and share its profits and liabilities. Liabilities, losses or expenses. Okay, so any arrangement between two or more people, you can say. So you are partnering the business. Okay, that is called as partnership. Then a person walking rather than traveling Okay, so person walking or traveling in a in a vehicle. So that person is called as a pedestrian. Sorry, there is a mistake over here. Just change it to a pedestrian. Okay, he is called as a pedestrian. Peasant is a he is nothing but a villager kind, like he is a person who works in the field, more or less like a farmer, you can say. Okay, a peasant is a farmer. Okay, so just make a small correction. Peasant is a farmer and person walking rather than traveling is called as a pedestrian. Note the spelling. It is not R-A-I-N, it is R-I-A-N, pedestrian. Okay, then here, pilgrimage, a journey to a sacred place. Journey and sacred place, or maybe a shrine, you can keep it in mind. So that is called as a pilgrimage. We went on a pilgrimage, that you can say. Then authorized to perform certain rites. Okay, authorized to perform certain rites, then it is priest. Okay, pujari, the one who performs puja in the temples and all. So they are called as certain rites or sacraments, you can say. So they are called as priests. Okay, so the priest does the puja very well, or there is a priest in this temple, you can say. Oh, okay, so this way you can form sentences. Then you have this, the owner of a business. Owner, whenever it comes owner, you can just close your eyes and write proprietor. Okay, the sole owner. Okay, then we have an officer of an educational institution. He is an officer in an educational institution. What is he? What is his work? Okay, his work is to register students, keeping the academic records. So you can know. So all these, when it comes, you can just say it's a registrar. Even in your university, all your documents, whenever you submit it, okay, whenever you submit all your documents, that directly goes to the registrar. Okay, so he is the person responsible for maintaining all your records. Okay, it may be registrar evaluation, it may be registrar of academics. So all these, there are various wings. Okay, administration levels. Okay, so that way you can maintain that. Okay, so that is called as a registrar. Then something related to school and education. Something related to school and education. So that is called as a scholastic. Okay, so that is called as scholastic. Then you can say I am doing some scholastic activity. So that you can say over there. Then a permanent administrative office, or maybe a department. Okay, so that is called as a secretariat. Fine. So Margaya refers to this secretariat also whenever he goes in search of Balu. Okay, so that is called as secretariat. Then we have this owner of shares. Okay, so whenever it comes to shares, okay, in a company, a person may have a part, or maybe he is the owner only. So that time, whenever you're talking about shares of a company, so you have to use this word shareholder. Okay, Dr. Pal actually was a shareholder in Margaya's society. Okay, so that's it. Then a place that is regarded as holy because of its association with divinity or something related to God or something, then or a sacred person. So that place is called as a shrine. Okay, so whenever you go to a pilgrimage, you go to a shrine to that. Okay, then writing and other office materials, very easy. Some materials that are related to writing, they are called as stationery. And here you must note, it is not A, it is E. Okay, stationery, suppose it is this stationery, S-T-A-T-I-O-N-A-R-Y. Suppose it is N-A-R-Y, this means it is still, which is immovable, okay, which cannot be moved. It is stationary. Okay, so that is stationary, it doesn't move anywhere, it is just fixed in one place. Okay, so that is referred to by this stationary. Okay, so this is fixed. So note the spelling. If you write a wrong spelling, the whole answer will be wrong. Suppose instead of E you write A, the answer is wrong because the meaning differs. So make sure you write a correct spelling. Now, how do I master this one word substitution? Okay, so yes, now I read the novel, I have just come across few words that can be used as one word substitutes. Okay, now I have given you all the one word substitutes. It's easy for you to understand and you will prepare for exam. But how do you master by yourself? How do you do it? First thing you have to do is you have to read newspapers. I'm talking about general thing, how you can develop this skill. Okay, this will surely help you to improve your language. Okay, this will surely help you to improve your language. You can prove that your language is far better than many of them. Okay, so you have to read newspapers. Okay, so you will pick up lot of new vocabulary, new words. Okay, so you should be in a habit like whenever you pick up a new vocabulary or a new word, then you must make sure you understand the meaning of it. So whenever you get the meaning, you tend to use it. You tend to use it whenever the situation permits, or whenever you come across such a situation, you'll feel that yes, I have to use this word. So make sure you read newspapers and you use those words in your everyday life. Okay, then sometimes you may have to attempt the mock tests. Just go on browsing, you'll get few vocabulary tests and all. So that one you can attempt. Or attempting the previous year's question papers means I'm talking about the exam point of view. Whenever you attempt the previous year's question papers, so then you will know what kind of questions will come. Okay, you will get to know that vocabulary also. So you then know, yes, it is limited. This is the limit. So you know all the words and you will get used to it. So at least for that exam point of view, it will be easy for you to get marks. So attempt mock tests or maybe from some previous year's question papers. Apart from that, playing word games is the best. Okay, like you may have to form 3-letter word. They might have given you they might have given you 5 letters, and you may have to form 3-letter words, 4-letter words, 5-letter words like this. Okay, so this way you can improve your vocabulary. Okay, so playing word games is also another option for you to improve your vocabulary and master this one word substitution. Okay, like whenever you form a new word, you'll feel, yes, what is this? What is the meaning of it? You will go search the meaning. Okay, so that way you will get to know lot of new words. Then use mnemonics. What is mnemonics? Mnemonics is a acronym or the short forms. Like in order to remember something, you make a shortcut. Okay, so that is called as mnemonics. So by using this, you will also develop lot of vocabulary. Then you must watch videos or movies in order to you may not have heard that accent at all. Like suppose I listen to American English, their way of speaking is something different. Okay, their way of speaking, their accent is different. Okay, so whenever I keep on listening to that American accent, then I tend to change my language to that accent, or maybe the vocabulary what I develop. Okay, so there will be new vocabulary, like the American vocabulary only I pick it up. Like what we use is the direct words. We make use of direct words, whereas American English or any other native speaker, okay, so they will have lot of idioms. The way we speak, maybe Kannada or Hindi, what we speak is totally different from the way we speak English, because we are not the native speakers of English. We might be native speakers of Kannada, we might be native speakers of Hindi, but not English. Okay, so the native speakers will know the nuances of language. Nuances means they will know the in and out of the language. So that idiomatic speaking and all, you will just develop when you watch videos or movies in that language. I'm not talking about only English. I'm talking about all the languages. Like whenever you try to learn a new language, you must watch videos or movies in that language. So those words keep falling into your ears and you can develop a very good vocabulary. Okay, so that is another way. Then try speaking in English. Since we are talking about English, that is one word substitution and vocabulary in English. So I'm advising you, try speaking in English as far as possible. Okay, maybe at home you may not speak English, but whenever you come across with, like whenever you come out with your friends or lecturers or we teachers, then please speak in English as far as possible, which will help you a great deal. Okay, it is like English has become a part and parcel of your life. Okay, so wherever you go, English is very much needed. So try speaking in English as far as possible. So that will help you a great deal. Fine. So what did we learn in today's session? We'll just have a recap. We learned what is the meaning of one word substitution. You just replace a phrase or a group of words in a sentence with one word. So that is called as a one word substitution. Okay. So why should we use one word substitution? In order to make our language clear and easily understandable. So that is the reason we use this one word substitution. Fine. Then we also learnt about few examples. There were many words which we maybe 30 to 40 words we have learned that is related to financial expert. That is the text prescribed to you. Those most commonly used one word substitutions were given over here. Then at last, how do we master one word substitution? We learnt few tricks about that. Okay. So these are the things we learnt in today's session. So what should you do? Just go back to the recorded lecture, watch it, and whatever doubts you have, please make a note of it. Feel free to ask when you come for class. Okay. So let us meet again in another session, in our next session, that is construction of sentences. How do you construct meaningful sentences? Okay. So like this will be helpful for your language component part, wherein they'll give you one word and ask you to frame sentences out of this. Okay. So wait for this session. Let us meet again. So thank you so much for watching this session. Hope this session is very useful and it will be helpful for you for in a great deal. Okay. So thank you so much, children. See you again in our next session. Take care. Bye-bye.